Knives by Rebecca May Hill, 2017 November 3rd. It is dark when you leave class today, 20 minutes late out of what is already a night class. Having stopped to ask the professor a question about Murphy's Law. The campus is empty in a way that you've only experienced once before at 5 a.m. on a Saturday morning, when you walk to Durkin to get picked up for an early lacrosse tournament. In this ordinary teeming place, the silence is stunning. The sound of your footsteps reverberates between the math and science buildings, and the night wind runs its hands through your hair, lifting strands lightly off your shoulders. In this moment, you are filled with a cool, all-encompassing sense of purpose, a certain warm sureness of yourself. Your life is in order. Your teacher likes you. You are going to ace this class, and in 2 months you will be graduating, moving on to bigger, more impressive things. You are almost there. You repeat it like a mantra in your head as you work. Almost there, almost there. When you towards the current corner of the engineering tech building, you see one more person out in the night. A burly guy who has just turned off an adjacent path about 50 meters ahead of you, headed the same direction as you are. For a moment you wonder if he lives in your apartment complex. Then you marvel at the lights parallel to your path, strung along the tree line to your left. The top branches of each tree are illuminated, and then the line of light dips gently as it travels from one tree to the next. You feel yourself deep with those lights, and then rise, guided forward by the twinkle. When you look ahead again, the man in front of you is standing as still as a statue in the path, looking down at something in his hand that you can't see. It must be his cell phone. You look back at the lights. In this new tree you are passing, their twinkle has faded. They only give off a dark glow. You look behind you to see if the previous lights were brighter, but your eyes catch on the empty path. You look back at the man. He has not moved as you walk closer. Something quavers in your stomach, and suddenly the peace of the night floods out in a wave, back in the direction you've gone. You are struck by a certain realization. What said the man hold is a knife, and what he means to do is stab you with it. Of course, this can't be. You are making things up, letting your mind run wide. This is just a thing that could be, but of course it isn't. He must be reading something on his phone. A text message perhaps. Logically, that's what he's doing. You are making up a silly story and scaring yourself with it. You checked behind you. There's no one, and you've already passed a turn you could take to walk a different way, unless you want to turn around and backtrack. But that's illogical. This man isn't going to hurt you. Anyone can stop in your path anytime they want, and stand as still as a statue, staring at something in their hands. It's not unusual. You try to remember self-defense, just in case. You never took a class, even though your parents said you should, because there was never time in your schedule. But when you read Twilight in middle school, there was a scene where Bella was cornered by some creepy man outside a warehouse. You remember what she thought. All she needed to do was shove the heel of her hand upwards into the man's nose, and that would smash cartilage back into his brain. And then run. You could do that. Easy. Now that you will have to. You are getting kind of close to him now, though. Almost there. You will just walk by him and not even look at him. It's illogical, too, that you made up a knife of all the weapons he could hold. Why not a gun, or mace, or sharp stick? Hey, if he really wanted to hurt you, he could do it with his bare hands. So he's standing there with something in his hands doesn't mean a thing. It's really a wonder how dim the lights along this path have gotten. You're just behind him now. Obviously, he's heard you. You breathe along sounds like a tsunami in your ears. Never mind the repetitive crash of your echoing steps. You imagine your master sobbing over your carcass. What if he's blind and he had to stop here where you are so he can grab you? Ridiculous. Almost there. Almost there. You see one of his arms moving back and forth. For a moment, you imagine he's jacking off. More ridiculous. He's probably typing. He's obviously ready, stroking his knife. Almost there, almost there, almost there. You pass him. He's holding a cell phone. You can see its glue as you go by. His head lifts toward you, but you don't turn. You're 5 feet away, 10 feet away, 15. Your breath goes out and calm crash back in. How ridiculous you are. Nice ass, he calls.